Welcome to Wheel Talk. I'm Recappa Sedai. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 21, Dust on the Wind. No, that's not what it's called. Today we're going to talk about The Eye of the World, Chapter 21, Listen to the Wind. And Chapter 22, A Path Chosen. 2 chapters will be done with this series in no time. I'm kidding, we have a ways to go. So, spoiler-free recap. Nynaeve wakes up, she's sitting near the riverbank with her back against a tree, and the sun is rising. Nynaeve was separated from the others the night before when everyone scattered. She saw Trollocs once more outside Shadar Logoth. They sniffed the air and turned away from her. The Trollocs knew who they were after, and it wasn't Nynaeve. Anyway, Nynaeve gets up and she tries to find tracks on the ground, but she has a hard time. If I don't find Egwene and the others, that Aes Sedai is going to be f***ing sorry. Then she smells wood smoke. She ties her horse to a tree and sneaks toward it. Nynaeve peeks around a tree and sees Moiraine and Lan. Moiraine is heating a kettle over a small fire. Nynaeve eavesdrops, obviously. There must have been 1,000 Trollocs. How did they get this far south so fast? It's not great. It's not great, but let's deal with one problem at a time. One of the boys is downriver, but my bonds to the other 2 are broken. Maybe the half-men got them. Oh, I'm not gonna go there. If they're dead, we are screwed. Moiraine looks at the tree Nynaeve's hiding behind. You can come out, Mistress Almiera. I can't believe it took me that long to notice you. I am off my game. Lan is freaked to realize Nynaeve is there, which Nynaeve really enjoys. Then she goes off on Moiraine. What have you gotten Egwene and the boys into? Tea? No, I don't want any tea. I wouldn't drink your tea if I was dying of thirst. Leave Emond's Fielders out of your dirty Aes Sedai schemes. I'm gonna go adjust this because I've been pulling it a lot. Whatever, I decided I don't feel like rebraiding it, so if it gets a little frayed and all over the place the more I tug on it this episode, don't worry about it. Alright, whatever, let's move on. Leave Emond's Fielders out of your dirty Aes Sedai schemes. You can come for Aes Sedai all you want. It is a little strange, though, when you can channel the one power yourself. You're crazy. I can sense women who channel. How do you think I knew you were behind that tree? That's why you can foretell the weather. That's why you're such a good healer. I can't channel, I would know. Duh. Why would you? Especially when you clearly don't want to believe it. When you were young, I bet you wanted something more than anything, and you got it. Then a week or so later, you had your first reaction to touching the true source. Fevers, chills, acting crazy, it comes and goes, lasting a few hours. Am I right? Or am I right? She's right. Years ago, Nynaeve miraculously healed Egwene from a fever, and then had her own fever about a week later. You're lucky you learned to control it. Most women like you die without training. Egwene will probably die if she doesn't study in the White Tower. Just saying. You're making this up. You know I'm not. You have the potential to be very powerful. You'd think this would excite Nynaeve, but she's having none of it. If you tell anyone else about this, we're gonna have a problem. You still haven't explained what you want with the boys. If the Dark One wants a thing, I oppose it. It's that simple. Let's go, Lan. I guess the wisdom won't be joining us. You're not the boss of me. I can join you if I want. Lan goes to get Nynaeve's horse. Nynaeve thinks he's doing it to prove a point. Good luck following my tracks. Oh wait, I don't leave tracks. She asks Moiraine why they're heading south. Moiraine explains that her coins created a bond to help her find the boys. Pretty handy, don't you think? If it connects them to you, I'm not a fan. One of them is across the river, but the 2 who went downriver and lost their coins may need me more. Where is Egwene? I do not know, but I hope she is safe. Oh, you hope so, do you? Well, that's a relief. Lan returns. Nynaeve's a bit disappointed he was able to find her horse. More than that, though, she's devastated that they may be leaving Egwene behind. Are you coming, Wisdom? Nynaeve mounts her horse and follows them, thinking to herself. If we don't find Egwene and the boys, I am going to make her sorry. I will learn the one power just like she said, and I will use it to make her sorry. I hate her. I hate her. God, I hate her. And that's the end of the chapter. Let's do another one. Look at us, ambitious. Chapter 22, A Path chosen. Perrin wakes up having spent the night in a pile of branches and cedar needles. He's hungry, still wet, and he hasn't seen his horse since falling into the Arenal. Not great. Perrin makes his way downriver, watching for Trollocs. He sees hoofprints and follows them into a clearing. Hoofprints, hoofprints, hoofprints. Hoofprints. I don't know, I'm just gonna pick one. Hoofprints, hoofprint, I don't know. He sees hoofprints and follows them into a clearing. And Egwene's there, sitting by a small fire. Bela's with her. Oh my god, you're not dead! You're not dead! Definitely not. Bela got me across the river. She was a total badass. Egwene gives Perrin some of the bread and cheese she still has, and they debate what to do. Egwene wants to wait for Moiraine to find them. But Perrin's worried the Trollocs will find them first. Okay then, what's the plan? That's up to me? Oh, okay. The Fades probably expect us to go to Whitebridge, so I think Caemlyn is our best bet? Caemlyn. Really? Yes? Okay. Perrin asks for more bread and cheese, but Egwene says they need to ration it. Unless you had better luck with snares than I did. At least the fire was easy. Is that a joke? I don't get it. He kicks dirt over the fire, and they start their journey to Caemlyn. And that's the end of the chapter! Success! It's a short one. I'd like to take a moment to thank our new Patreon members. Our new Wilders. SP Jazz. Holly, if anyone gives you attitude about being a Wilder, you slap them in the face and you tell them it's from Recappa. We call that a reslappa. And our new novices and soldiers. Elmida, welcome to the Littlest Tower. If Tivana starts talking to you, trying to befriend you, just ignore her. Or better yet, just give her a reslappa. A huge thank you to all of our patrons. You are helping me keep Wheel Talk going. The light illumine you. The next part of this video is the 13th Depository. I'm going to dive deep on the chapter, and there might be spoilers. So if you haven't finished reading The Wheel of Time, I recommend not watching this part. We don't spoil first-time readers here. I forbid it. I pronounce this meeting sealed to the flame. This week, I got some fabulous questions on Discord that I would like to answer. By the way, if you're not hanging out on Wheel Talk's Discord server, what are you doing? There's a link in the notes. Get on board. We're having fun. Recappa Sedai asked, why doesn't Moiraine tell the boys that the coins are tracking devices? When I first read this question, I thought, well, because when she first gives them the coins, she's incognito. She doesn't want anyone to know that she's Aes Sedai. But the more I thought about this, the more I realized it's a really good point. Once they leave Emond's Field, it would make total sense for Moiraine to say, hey, if we get separated, those coins will help me find you. Seriously, don't lose them. When Elaine sets a finder on Samwell Hark in Knife of Dreams, she straight up tells Hark what she's doing. So it seems safe to assume that telling someone about a finder doesn't affect how it works on them. There isn't a great reason to keep it secret. Moiraine loves being secretive. It makes her seem powerful, and she knows it. Given the way Moiraine goes about things, I can understand why she doesn't tell the boys about the Finder Weave, but I agree with Recappa Sedai that it's unwise of Moiraine to keep the coins a secret. If she had just told the boys why they had to keep their coins, Mat and Rand wouldn't have given theirs to Bail Doman. Or maybe they still would have, which would have been drama, and I'm here for that. Anyway, thank you Recappa Sedai for the intriguing question, I live. Next up, Cindy asked, what is it the White Tower teaches that stops young channelers from dying horribly? I thought this was really interesting because it never occurred to me that the White Tower might be teaching something specific to stop this from happening. I've always thought it's about training young channelers gradually so that they don't channel more of the one power than they're able. You might think that among these untrained channelers, there would be a lot of young women stilling themselves. If you start channeling without knowing what you're doing, at some point, you're probably going to channel more than you can handle. Normally that would lead to stilling yourself, but that's not what happens to young women who channel without training. In fact, at this point in your Saidar adolescence, I'm not sure you can channel enough to still yourself. But I do think the consequences Moiraine describes in this chapter happen when you channel more than you're able. I think if you're still young and you touch Saidar too intensely before you're ready, you don't still yourself. Instead, you die horribly the way Moiraine describes in this chapter. That's what I think. At any age, it's a really bad outcome. If you're a channeler, you gotta be careful. This idea that there might be a specific trick to preventing these side effects is interesting, and it's possible. But if that were the case, I think that would have been Egwene's first lesson. Instead, we see Moiraine teach Egwene to do something very small with the power. It makes sense to me that preventing those deaths is about teaching the One Power gradually, but if anyone has thoughts on how exactly young female channelers avoid dying, let me know in the comments. And if there's a question you'd like answered on the 13th Depository, join us on Discord! Or ask in the comments, that works too. So much hair in my face, we're going to get it out of my face, and we're going to finish the episode. The point is, you have to ask the question somewhere, or I can't answer it. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. If you can like the video and subscribe, that would be so nice, and it helps the channel. Who doesn't love that? I feel like my wig is falling off. We're almost there. God, right. If you'd like to help Wheel Talk continue and improve, the best way is by sponsoring the show on Patreon. There's a link in the notes. There are fun benefits that come with membership. If you can contribute at any level, it's appreciated. We love our patrons on Wheel Talk. And until next week, walk in the light and keep it wheel. What blows me away about this bookshelf is it's just so real.